Title: My family only wanted me for my money, so I got the ultimate revenge. Alright, Reddit, buckle up, because I have a story for you that's straight out of a soap opera. The only difference, this one actually happened to me. Let me preface this by saying, yes, I know how crazy this all sounds. I know I could have walked away, but there was something inside me that wanted to see justice served. So, I played a little game with my family, and it turned out better than I could have ever imagined. Growing up, my family didn't have much. My parents struggled financially, and we lived paycheck to paycheck. My siblings and I were raised with the understanding that we had to fend for ourselves. I worked through school, paid my own way through college, and eventually built a small business that did well enough to allow me a comfortable lifestyle. As luck would have it, the business took off, and over the course of a few years, I went from a humble salary to making some serious cash. Think, I could retire early if I wanted, kind of money. Naturally, my family took notice. At first, I thought nothing of it. They'd congratulate me and tell me how proud they were. But slowly, it became clear that the support was just a mask. They'd drop hints about needing loans, or ask for money under the guise of emergencies. I'd always help out here and there because, well, they're family. But as time went on, their requests got larger and more frequent. One day, my sister asked me for a small loan of $50,000 to cover a business investment. She didn't have a business plan, and when I pressed her for details, she got defensive, insisting that family should help family, and that I should trust her. That's when it hit me. They didn't see me as their brother or son anymore. I was the golden goose. So, I did something that I'd never done before. I told them, no. And oh boy, the fallout was spectacular. My mom called me selfish and heartless. My dad said he was disappointed in the person I'd become. My sister and brother both blocked me on social media and stopped talking to me. Suddenly, I was the black sheep of the family for having the audacity to want to keep my own hard-earned money. But rather than feel sad or guilty, something inside me snapped. I realized that these people only wanted me around for what I could give them. And if that's how they wanted to play it, then fine, I'd play along. But on my terms. The plan, I knew that if I wanted to get back at them, I'd have to be smart. I couldn't just cut them off, because they'd never learn. So I decided to give them exactly what they wanted, but with a twist. I invited everyone to my house for a big family announcement, promising them that I had something exciting to share. They all showed up, each wearing their fake smiles and pretending they were there for me, not for whatever potential handouts I might be offering. Once everyone was settled, I told them I was planning to retire early and wanted to give each of them a gift, to show my appreciation for their support over the years. Of course, everyone's eyes lit up. They didn't even try to hide it. I told them I had arranged for trust funds to be set up in the names that they'd have access to in a year's time. All they had to do was attend a series of family bonding events I'd be organizing over the next 12 months. Now, let me be clear, there was no trust fund. I was lying through my teeth, but I figured if they were willing to lie to me all these years about their intentions, then I could have a little fun with it. I scheduled these bonding events every month, and each one was more ridiculous than the last. In January, we had a team building ropes course that none of them wanted to participate in. In February, it was a weekend camping trip where I forgot to bring enough tents. March, we did a charity event where they had to volunteer all day at a soup kitchen. By April, they were grumbling and complaining about the hoops I was making them jump through. But I'd remind them that this was all for the trust fund. That kept them going, barely. By the time December rolled around, they'd practically turned on each other, trying to prove who was the most deserving of the inheritance. It was honestly hilarious watching them bend over backward for something that didn't even exist. The best part, every month, I'd drop hints that there were conditions on the trust fund. They couldn't be selfish or greedy. They had to prove they were worthy. Finally, the year was up, and it was time for the big reveal. I invited them all over to my house again, telling them that I'd have all the paperwork ready for their trust funds. They arrived dressed to the nines, like they were about to meet with royalty. It was painfully obvious they had dollar signs in their eyes. Once they were all seated, I took a deep breath and said, "I have something to tell you." I could see their faces light up, and then I dropped the bomb. There is no trust fund. The room went silent. I could see the confusion turn to anger, and before they could start yelling, I continued, I spent this past year showing you what it's like to work for something, to earn it, and what I learned is that none of you actually cared about me, you just wanted my money. So, congratulations, you got exactly what you deserved, nothing. My mom started crying, my sister screamed at me, and my dad sat there, dumbfounded. They called me every name in the book, told me I was heartless, and that I'd betrayed the family. But I didn't care. I felt free. I'd spent years letting them use me, manipulate me, guilt trip me, and in that moment, I realized I was finally done. I stood up, told them to leave, and watched as each one stormed out of my house. They haven't spoken to me since, and to be honest, I couldn't be happier. I've made new friends, started traveling more, and finally have people around me who actually care about me, not what I can give them. Sometimes, family isn't about blood, it's about who's there for you when you have nothing to offer.